This is Brief Briefing. New U.S. Treasury Secretary nominee Janet Yellen made a serious Bitcoin warning. U.S. President-elect Joe Biden has confirmed reports he will nominate renowned labor economist Janet Yellen as his Treasury Secretary. With Bitcoin back at the forefront of global consciousness, thanks to a return to its all-time high price, increased regulatory scrutiny could be just around the corner. Yellen, who served as chair of the U.S. Federal Reserve from 2018 to 2018 and helped steer the Fed through the aftermath of the 2008 global financial crisis, has previously said she's not a fan of Bitcoin, warning it is not a stable store of value. Bitcoin is not a stable store of value, and it doesn't constitute legal tender, Yellen told reporters at a press conference at the height of Bitcoin's massive 2017 bull run. It's a highly speculative asset. The Bitcoin price has soared from under 1,000 per Bitcoin to around 20K through 2017, only to crash back to 3K in 2018. Now the Bitcoin price has returned to those 2017 highs after more than doubling in price this year, fueled by massive government stimulus in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic and a growing sense that Bitcoin could somewhat displace gold as a safe haven asset. However, the Bitcoin market was last week spooked by unconfirmed rumors outgoing U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin could use his last few weeks in office to force through a crackdown on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency services. These fears, amplified by the chief executive of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, sent the Bitcoin price sharply lower, wiping $50 billion from the combined value of the world's cryptocurrencies. In 2018, Yellen also warned that many Bitcoin transactions are illegal and illicit transactions, an opinion echoed by a recent U.S. Department of Justice report that found that emergence of Bitcoin and similar cryptocurrencies is a growing threat to U.S. national security, with the Attorney General William Barr Cyber Digital Task Force calling it the first raindrops of an oncoming storm. However, last month, payments giant PayPal announced it planned to add Bitcoin buying and spending services, with PayPal near 350 million users, likely to help dispel Bitcoin's reputation as an enabler of illicit transactions. With Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies receiving significant validation this year, some have called for Bitcoin acceptance, even adoption from the incoming Biden administration. Joe Biden's nascent administration should recognize the benefits of integrating Bitcoin into the U.S. financial system. Neil Ferguson, the Milbank family senior fellow at the Hoover Institute at Stanford University, wrote in a Bloomberg column this week. Nevertheless, given Yellen's previous comments and Bitcoin's continued extreme volatility and integration of Bitcoin into the U.S. financial system, probably shouldn't be expected anytime soon. Water becomes a commodity, brought to you by RNC. Will 2021 be the year the world really values water? If Wall Street sets the tone, it will be. For almost 230 years, agricultural commodities have been bought and sold in the New York Finance District, now the Nasdaq Stock Exchange, which celebrates 50 years of activity next month, has put a price on our most vital substance. Water contracts for 5 water districts in drought-prone California are being bought and sold. The new water futures contract allows buyers and sellers to barter a fixed price for the delivery of fixed quantities of water at a future date. In December, for the first time, water futures for California districts were also being traded on the floor of the world's second biggest market. The concept had been mooted for decades. Tim McCart, a specialist at the CME Group behind the scheme, said the company was using its proven 175-year track record to help end users and other market participants manage risk in essential commodities markets. This is a historic event, with nearly 2/3 of the world's population expected to face water shortages by 2025. Water scarcity presents a growing risk for businesses and communities around the world, and particularly for the 1.1 billion California water market. Developing risk management tools that address growing environmental concerns is increasingly important to the CME Group. At the time of print, the Nasdaq Valves futures had risen by 2.75% and were heading north. The move has quickly criticized by public health specialists. Pedro Araujo Aguda, the United Nations Special Rapporteur on the human rights to safe drinking water and sanitation, was direct in his opposition. You can't put a value on water as you do with other traded commodities, man. Come off it. Water belongs to everyone and is a public good. It is closely tied to all of our lives and livelihoods and is an essential component to public health, especially during the freaking pandemic. Water is already under extreme threat from a growing population, increasing demands, and grave pollution from agriculture and mining industry in the context of worsening impact of climate change. This is why there are now water futures. Global heating could stabilize if net zero emissions achieved, scientists say. The world may be barreling towards climate disaster, but rapidly eliminating planet heating emission means global temperatures could stabilize within just a couple of decades, scientists say. Engen enters the fashion world with augmented reality NFTs. Engen, the Metaverse Me, are teaming up to bring virtual fashion items to the Ethereum blockchain, creating a line of tradable non-fungible tokens representing clothing for metaverse avatars. Engen will provide the infrastructure framework to host the NFTs, which can then be viewed in Metaverse Me, an augmented reality platform that allows users to create personalized avatars and see them interact with the real world environment. In addition to viewing the collection in the Metaverse Me app, the NFTs and their underlying elements will be available in the virtual worlds that are part of the Metaverse Engen's initiative to connect separate video games in a virtual universe collective. These include Atari intellectual property like the Row B2 Classic Kickoff, as well as Minecraft, courtesy of the Engen plugin. Signal reportedly exploring crypto payment features. Privacy-focused messaging app Signal is reportedly devoting resources towards the development of a cryptocurrency payment service for its users. According to the report by Casey Newton, the founder of the technology newsletter service platformer Signal, is mulling crypto payments integrations on app. Analyzing Christian Lagarde's latest digital euro comments by the Block Crypto. On January 21st, 2021, the Governing Council of the European Central Bank met to discuss the latest monetary policy updates for the Eurozone. I wanted to bring up grammar, logic, and rhetoric. Like, how do you look at these articles in order to know how to best position yourself in life when it comes to cryptocurrency? And that is the trivium. I mean, grammar is essential. Logic is the mechanics of analysis, of composing arguments, and identifying fallacious arguments, arguments that contain fallacies. And rhetoric is the application of the language to persuade the listener or the reader. How are they using these three components to persuade you? Are they actually stating facts that could impact the price of the crypto asset in a positive way? Is it purely hype? Just in an attempt to rally the price ever higher for investors? You have to take these things into consideration. And I will do an in-depth video about this. You must understand the mechanics of language. What is grammar? When you're reading all these articles or when you're listening to these articles, in order to realize, oh, wow, this is a significant world event. Water is now a commodity. I can short water. Holy Jesus, what it means for Californians who need water, what it means for traders, what it means for the world. Plato was a brilliant gentleman, and the trivium and the teachings of the ancient people can really help you know and understand what is Bitcoin, what is money, and why it is a significant event in history and the fourth industrial revolution, that those that do not understand are already in the current system or will be left behind, and it will be up to us to bring them out of whatever medieval crisis they find themselves in. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Have a good one.